What's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the MF Automotive YouTube channel, where today I bring you a review on a 2013 Audi S6. As always, a huge thank you to the awesome folks over at Maple Acura for providing the vehicle featured in today's review. If you're guys in the market for any new or used Acura or a used car in general, make sure to check them out. All their contact information can be found in the description box below. This is the 2013 Audi S6, Audi's mid-size luxury sports sedan. The 2013 model year represented the 4th generation, or C7 in Audi talk, of the S6. However, this sports sedan still boasts a sophisticated design language and incredibly impressive performance all these years later. Under the hood, the Audi S6 features a glorious 4-liter turbocharged V8 engine which pushes out 420 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. Power is routed through all 4 wheels using Audi's infamous Quattro all-wheel drive system. The engine is mated to an S-Tronic 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, with manual shiftability also being an option, utilizing the paddle shifters mounted behind the wheel. Fuel economy ratings for this engine are as follows. However, you may be inclined to constantly rev out that spectacular, glorious V8 engine on a daily basis, resulting in a lower than expected MPG rating. But there is a bright side to this wonderful or mediocre problem, depending on how you look at it, because the masters working in Audi's S department have managed to implement a cylinder deactivation system that can shut down a few cylinders when cruising rather than using all 8. This does improve fuel economy, but more importantly, gets you one step closer to convincing your significant other wife that this is a powerful yet fuel-efficient family sedan. Unlike traditional manufacturers, which give you the option to choose a specific trim level, and within that trim level are a set of features, Audis, or German cars in general, tend to do things a little differently. They are, instead, for the most part, divided by their engine designation. You choose the powertrain you desire, and then they give you the option to add additional features which you may prefer. Certain higher engine designations may include some additional options standard, but for the most part, they give you the option to choose from a list. Furthermore, the vehicle you are looking at today is the top-of-the-line S6 model. It's finished in Phantom Black, and it's stickered for just over 100,000 Canadian dollars when it was new. If you're interested in owning the specific vehicle, which is now significantly cheaper than it once was, offering a tremendous value for what you get, then head to the description, where I'll leave another link in the description leading you to the listing, if it's still available, of course. With all that in mind, let us start off with the exterior styling, and specifically the front, where the C7 Generation S6 features an aggressive yet elegant look. I should add that this vehicle has had some custom touches added after the fact, so it may not replicate a standard S6 you are accustomed to seeing. The aforementioned options also play a role here, as a lot of the gadgetry integrated within this vehicle are optional extras. The headlights, which are most likely my favorite aspect of the front because of their intricacy, feature separate LED pods within the housing, which all work together to brilliantly light up the road in front of you. They also incorporate a nice flowing DRL design when driving during the day. The headlights are also fully LED and are an option, might I add. Below the headlights, we find the covers, which cover the washers, which give your headlights a nice rinse if needed. The grille is subtle and features perforations in the top and bottom, with the Audi and model moniker in the middle, and parking sensors along the front. Also hidden within the Audi logo are the front camera system and night vision monitor for when you want to activate your inner nocturnal. These are also an option. The lower front fascia features what looks to be fog lights at first glance, but there are actually sensors for the adaptive cruise control system. Also included is adaptive cruise control system with stop and go and Audi side assist. This is all included in the driver assistance package, which also includes Audi Presense Plus. The sensors are enclosed in this nice trim and are surrounded by partially perforated grills. Moving along to the side profile, where there are no gimmicks, just a clean design of a traditional sedan. The side mirrors are treated to a satin silver finish, as they typically are with S and RS models. Speaking of the mirrors, they include a heating element, turn signals, and are power folding. The wheels are 20 inches in diameter and are a 5-spoke design. They include disc brakes on all 4 corners and have the S6 model distinction on the caliper. Last but not least, let us talk about the rear, where we find full LED taillights, except the reverse ones, a lift spoiler, a roof antenna, the rear parking sensors, and quad exhaust pipes. With the exterior styling discussed, let us move on to the interior, where materials mainly consist of leather, soft-touch plastics, and carbon fiber trim. The materials go as far as the inclusion of leather surfaces in the footwell too. The finish is excellent, and taking a look at the overall design brings out the sophistication you usually associated with Audis come to play. The layout may be a bit cluttered for some, but I personally love the button-centric design. At the top, we find our infotainment display, which can retract in and out of the dashboard with the click of a button. The display itself includes Audi Connect, which used an early iteration of Google Maps as your navigation, which was neat. Google Maps is used to this day in Audi products and can be displayed in your gauge through the virtual cockpit display. The infotainment is controlled via a set of buttons located down by the shifter below, which I will discuss later in the video. The cameras consist of one in the front and one in the rear. They, combined with the sensors, give you an aerial view of the vehicle when parking. This makes it easy to maneuver around objects and helps you park. This is part of the top view camera option. Below the infotainment display, we have our climate vents. With the hazard switch in the middle, they are surrounded by aluminum and carbon fiber trim. Moving down further reveals the CD player and some physical buttons, mainly to control our parking sensors, rear sunshade, and traction control. Below that, we find our climate settings. 2-zone climate control in the front allows each front person to control their own temperature, with the knob on the left and right signifying the corresponding side. We also have some physical buttons to control the direction of air, set auto, sync temperatures, set the defroster, and more, as well as a display showing just climate info. We also have the controls for our heated seats. The center console features carbon fiber trim all around this area, as well as some cubby storage under this cover, which slides forward and back to hide stuff inside. The gear selector is covered in leather and aluminum and comprises of, I believe, 5 positions: park, reverse, neutral, and sport, as well as an option to shift manually. Besides that, we have our handbrake lever and a small pad which not only controls radio presets, but also acts as a touch in the sense that you can slide your finger in the motion of a letter and it will mimic it on the right. We have our push to start button, and behind that we have the volume knob and track switches. The whole area behind that is to control our infotainment. The large knob in the center is used to navigate around the Audi MMI system, with the surrounding labeled buttons in black used as shortcut keys. The silver buttons in the same vicinity, I believe, are customizable and can be set as additional shortcuts in the infotainment. Behind the central control system is a cover which houses our 2 cup holders. The armrest is padded in soft leather and is divided into 2 sections, the top being the place to store small items and the bottom being reserved for media devices and a 12-volt outlet. The seats are 8-way power adjustable for both the driver and passenger and feature lumbar support too, as well as 2-person memory for the driver. The seats are made of leather and comprise of this diamond stitch pattern, which adds a unique touch. The heated steering wheel is a 3-spoke design and is wrapped in leather. It features buttons and a scroll wheel on either side to control our audio, cruise, voice control, and the 7-inch gauge cluster display. It's also power tilt and telescoping, with glossback accents to add a little variety. Behind the steering wheel is where we find our set of gauges and the gauge cluster display in the center. The font is printed in a simple, easy-to-read format and features a gray background. Both needles sit vertically when stationary and do a sweep when you start the vehicle, which is cool. They also feature lights to signify the engine's red line. Also, the gauge cluster housings are both slightly angled towards the driver, which is a neat touch. The display features audio, vehicle, and navigation information in a clean, well-lit display. Since this vehicle is equipped with the driver vision package, it includes a heads-up display and night vision. The heads-up display is located in the driver's line of sight and projects information such as your speed, cruise control information, and navigation info. To the left of the heads-up display, we find the tweeters for a 12-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is another optional extra. They rise up when you start the vehicle. The door panels are a combination of stitched leather, carbon fiber trim, and soft touch plastic. They feature our mirror controls, window controls, all 4 windows are automatic, seat memory, power lock controls, trunk release, and some storage space at the bottom. Not to mention these metallic speaker grills, part of that upgraded audio system. Moving along to the back, where rear seat occupants are cocooned in the same premium materials found up front. The door panels are the same combination of stitched leather, carbon fiber trim, and soft touch plastics with those metal speaker grills. We also have a sunshade and some storage space in the form of a cubby and open storage at the bottom of the door. The seats feature the same diamond stitched pattern found up front and offer heating too. The seat backs feature these mat pockets to store slim, lightweight objects, and a center console which has climate vents integrated, and along with features 2 more zones of climate back here with an independent display. In the trunk of the S6, which can be unlatched by holding the trunk button on the key fob, we find access to 14.1 cubic feet of space. For additional space, the rear seats can also be folded down in a 60-40 split, and we also get some additional storage space on the sides. Well guys, that wraps up my review on this 2013 Audi S6. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any future content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.